I'm Robert, aka Techu. I'm 25, I live in Bucharest, and I'm a music producer and DJ. I first got into this as a party goer. First party I attended was in 2016. Barak and Jesku were playing, and I remember I had no idea about this genre at all. We were calling it techno, like everybody did. That was the first one. I didn't really understand much then. I had fun, it was okay, it was nice. I kept going to parties and I kept understanding more and more, hearing the tracks deeper, like hearing the background of the tracks, the layers, the details, not only the kick and the clap and the bass as in the beginning. And then the first big party I attended was Dor de Munte in 2018. And then I was really mesmerized. I was really drawn into the scene and into everything. And after that, I decided, okay, it's time to go to Sunrays for the first time. I went to Sunrays first time in 2018, in the summer edition. And after that, all this passion gathered through the years sparked in me the desire and this temptation to achieve those distinctive sounds and to see if I can learn how to create them. And this is how I started producing music at the end of 2018. Some key moments. Yeah, I think I have a few. My career nowadays is mostly based on the production side, more than the DJ side, because I started as a producer only, and then I went into DJing too. Some of my key moments are in a chronological order, not in a relevance or importance order. First one is my first release track. It was at Tina Records after about 6 months after I started producing, and it was really a proud moment for me. I was really happy. The next one would be first time when a DJ or a producer I admired played my music. It happened on a Telum podcast. I think it was the 5th one. Barut played 2 of my unreleased tracks. And I had zero expectations to hear that, and I opened the podcast to listen to it and just enjoy it. I had no idea he would play my tracks, and I hear 2 of my tracks in like 15 minutes, and I almost cried. And I think the next one was the one where I had like my first international gig, and then I was like, wow, it's getting serious, you know. It's like what started as a passion and hobby, then evolved into a potential career. And nowadays it's a full-time job. Well, in the beginning I was fascinated about Mihai Paul. It was Mihai Paul and Silat Bexi. 2 tracks come to my mind. Silat Bexi, Miracle Inside. That track was like my inspiration for a whole year. I never achieved that sound and that quality yet, but it's still there for me. And I think Mihai Paul, MD, would be another record that comes to my mind when I think about inspiration in the beginning. My first event was about 1 year after I started producing in my hometown in Brașov, and I played music from 10 p.m. to 12 to a crowd of about 5 to 10 people, and some of them were asking me to play Andra and really commercial stuff from Romania, and I had to explain to them that I have a repertoire. I only have one drive with music. I don't have access to the internet or anything, and this is all I can play. And they were really disappointed to hear that, because they hated the music. Of course, the club was the commercial one, not the minimal one. But yeah, it was fun. That was my first one. Comparing my first event to the more recent ones, well, there are quite a few differences. One is that I'm not so nervous anymore. Like right now, I know what I have to do. I know how to read the crowd already. I already know what kind of music I have to play, depending on what time of the day or the night I play. And yeah, it's better now, of course. It's better because I feel more prepared and more experienced. And a lot of the people from the crowd, they know who I am and recognize my music and my production mark. For me, the track, the most important element is the bass line. This is why I also, when I start the track, most of the times I begin with the bass line. I think it's the element that just is the most poignant one, and it's also the heart of the track. After that, it really depends, because of course you cannot have a track without a kick. I think for me, the most important element is like the melody and the rhythm. And also, if you have a good sound system, the percussion and the background are really important too. My sound, I think, more minimal is the right word to describe my sound, because my inspiration, as I said before, are Silat Beksi, Mihai Paul. Even though Silat Beksi is not Romanian, it doesn't matter, he's really one of the best for me. My learning curve. This topic makes me a bit sad, because my only mentor, and I think you know him as well, CKB, I owe him a lot. He taught me a lot of things. He was an amazing guy, an amazing producer and DJ and everything. And in the beginning, every time I had a question or I had something I didn't understand or didn't know how to make, I would go and ask him, and he would always help me. Also help me with different sounds, samples, VSTs, everything. Yeah, he was my mentor, my only mentor, and I owe a lot to him, and this is an occasion to make a big shout out to him. May he rest in peace. We met before I gotten into production. We were searching for tracks and exchanging music. I wasn't even a DJ, I was just, I like to collect music and to have music. And he was looking for a track that I had, and I was also looking for a track that he had. And this is how we became friends. And he was already a producer back then, I wasn't. And when I started producing, I contacted him again because I heard some of his tracks and I thought like, wow, this guy is really good. And he told me he's been producing for already 4 years then, but he started with a different sound before. And we made a collab, which went really well, and it was a really good track. I think it has around 80,000 plays on YouTube. And yeah, from then we just stayed friends, and we always stayed in contact. We also met in a party in Leeds, because I was closer to this scene, and I was going to a lot of parties and meeting a lot of Romanian DJs, and I was closer in this topic. But he was a better producer, technically speaking. He had the university, a degree in sound engineering, I think. And there's a lot of ways to overcome a creative block, an inspiration block. For me, what it usually requires is a little break, maybe a 1 week break, where I don't even listen to Romanian at all. I just listen to all other kinds of music, and I just go into nature, spend time with my friends. And then after 1 week or maybe more, I come back to Ableton and to the studio, and it feels a lot better every time, yeah. I feel like my ears are renewed, and also my mind. A challenge in this industry would be like the uncertainty of the financial part, and also of the event part, like the festivals and everything. It's not really reliable, it's pretty volatile. For example, 2023 was an amazing year for me, the best year of my life in all the aspects, but this one is not so great. But yeah, it is how it is, and we have to embrace every part of our careers and culture. Yeah, I think you have to work on more than one side. Yeah, it matters to be trendy, it matters to ride the wave and to have some hype around you, but you can't live on that only. You also have to build relationships with other artists, with promoters, with agents, managers. You have to be a complete part of this life if you want to really make it in the end. Yeah, when I started touring, I was not aware of how lucky I am and how blessed I am to be able to do that, and also live off that, and for that to be my job, basically. It's amazing, and I'm really grateful for that. And what it did to me is broaden my horizons a lot. I think so, at least. I think I'm a more open-minded person after been traveling around the world for these past 2-3 years. Also a more accepting person, a kinder person, because I've met and encountered all kinds of people, and from each one of them and every one of them, I had something to learn. I had quite a few cultural shocks, let's say like that. The biggest one was India. India, it was like my wildest experience yet. I went for the first time in like Central East Asia. I stayed in India for 4 days, in which I had 3 gigs in 3 different cities. It was crazy but amazing in the same time, really tiring but really mesmerizing as well. It was the biggest cultural shock for me in terms of everything, not only music. They really enjoyed my music, but I had to play higher BPM. I had to play at around 130, 132, because the DJ that was warming up was already at 129, so I had to keep up with it. Other differences I observed around Europe and the world, every country has its own style. What I saw, for example, in Poland, they like the dark stuff more, same as in Serbia. But then in the UK or in France, from my experience, they like the more uplifting, energetic stuff. To be in control of the crowd, sometimes you can feel like a little master of puppets in a sort of way, and sometimes you don't even think about it at all. You're just only into the music, and you're like, all your thought goes to the music and on the experience you want to create for everybody, but more on a mental way. Other times you watch the crowd more and you try to interpret and to feel what they want to feel next and in what direction they would like the set to go. But in general, it feels amazing. It feels amazing, especially if it's a big crowd on a nice sound system, functional and voids. It's a nice thing, yeah. It's an interesting feeling. I've had all kind of experiences and type of connections with crowds. Yeah, sometimes you feel really connected to the crowd and you feel like they are there for the music and for the artistic experience and for that. Sometimes you see them being there more for social experience, for maybe catching up with old friends, maybe drinking a beer, maybe chatting with new people. Both of the things are okay in my experience, because as long as people are happy and dancing, that's fine, that's good. A lot of friends I created with music. One of them is Constrati, who's also my roommate, and he's now became one of my best friends. Also CKB, who I mentioned before, my mentor, my good friend, and the most humble and kind person I ever met. I'm really grateful and happy to have met him, and yeah, I met him through music and through this industry, and yeah, I think they are the closest persons to my heart that I met inside the music industry. Yeah, so my creative process is really volatile. Sometimes I just I feel like today I want to make a track, and that's all I want to do. I want to make a track, and usually I start with the bass line and I go on from there with one element in the other, then the other, then the other, and I make the track. Sometimes I have a dream at night, and I dream about a pattern of sounds or about I don't know, a pad or a synth, and then I wake up with a thought in my mind and with that sound in my mind sometimes, and I try to maybe replicate it or draw some inspiration from there. Other times it's an experience that I lived recently, maybe a festival, maybe a nice party, and I go there and I hear tens of amazing tracks, maybe hundreds sometimes, and there is so much inspiration you get from those type of moments that when you come back to the studio, it's impossible to not get like at least 3, 4, 5 good tracks. A lot of good influence can come from the outside, especially when you're at a festival and the DJs that play the music there are a lot of your the influences from the beginning, and a lot of the DJs you look up to. And yeah, if you go and listen to music, to good music non-stop for 3, 4, 5 days, your brain and your soul charged with a lot of good energy and a lot of good inspiration. My first releases, yeah, I remember. I was making a lot of music, a lot of tracks, and quality was maybe not the best. And I was approaching through messages, SoundCloud messages or Facebook messages or even emails, big labels. For me in that moment, they were big labels, Locomotive, Telum, and a lot of other big names. And of course, I received no replies in the beginning, because now looking back, I understand that the music was not good. And I kept doing it. I kept making music and I kept approaching labels. And until one day, when I got a reply from Tina Record, then they said, we like this track of yours. It was called Nature's Dance. It was a pretty simple track with a catchy, groovy bass line and also a catchy, groovy synth. And that was it. But I was really proud of it. Yeah, and Tina Records is one of the biggest labels in Romania in terms of also popularity and also about how old they are and for how much time they've been doing it. In this particular case, I think it happened through email, but I'm not sure. I think I was so eager to release music that I might have just sent them messages both on SoundCloud and email. Yeah, persistency is really important. Yeah, you have to be careful not to overdo it and to become obsessed and make people hate you and not like you because you're being a bit crazy. But yeah, persistency is important in everything you do. And so this year I've got 4 vinyl releases coming out and they all excite me. Vinyl for me is still precious and exciting, and it's amazing to have a material thing in your hands that has your music on it. It's a good feeling. Except that I'm always excited about playing music at events and festivals. It's the part that I like the most right now. In the beginning I liked the production part more, but now I enjoy the DJ part more, especially now that it's summer and we just want to be outside more and enjoy life and nature and everything. I think I struggle quite a bit to balance my commercial success and with my artistic part, because I'm not quite good at this marketing part, you know. Not that I'm not good, but I think it's evolving a lot these days and it's changing a lot these days with TikTok. TikTok is so fast-paced and so every trend is alive for like 5 days or so, and then another trend comes on, and you have to be really focused and to pay a lot of attention and to always learn new things. I'm trying to do that as best as I can, but I think I'm better on the side of production, proper music production and artisting, than in the part of marketing and commercializing my music. Well, Romania is pretty special when it comes to sound, and that's why we call it Rominimal, I think, because Romanians have perfected this sound and have taken sound and put it the way it is today. And now it's already a global phenomenon. For example, at Soundwaves you can meet people from all over the world, and I see a lot of friends from Europe, from America, from Asia, who are like extremely passionate and excited about Romania, and they would give everything just to maybe visit Romania or even move there, only because of the sound, only because of this Romanian sound. And I think this says quite a lot. I know a few things about the history of the scene. I know a lot of the artists, or the big artists from today, they grew up in Bacău and around the Zebra label. Rareș, Barak are some examples. I know that then they moved to Bucharest, and there they met Tati, the owner of Sunrise, and then they started Soundwaves. I think it was in 2007, something like that, and the first edition was no more than an average party today, but now at the 32nd edition, or I don't know which one is it this year, it's already a full-grown massive festival. The future of the scene for me is unpredictable and hard to envision, kind of quite like the AI, and they are similar but they can also be connected in some way, because the AI is impacting all our lives, and yeah, it's hard to predict how it will change our lives and how it will change music, because we can already see different types of art, from music to videos made with AI. It's hard to tell the differences right now. I hope that the AI will not become such a big part of our lives, and I hope that artists will still do the same organic and analogics thing. The scene in Bucharest right now is pretty good. We have I think 3-4 clubs that play Romanian mostly. In the past, for me, it was a little bit better. But I think not only in Bucharest it was a little bit better, I think everywhere, because the people were more hyped about it. It was a fresh sound, and it was more underground, and the hype was bigger then. And you had venues like Playa Verde, which was a nice venue in the nature, and I love those type of places. Also, the old guest house was legendary, and everybody knows about it, and almost everybody loved it. Right now we have the new guest house, which is a pretty good club as well, more classy version, not the same underground raw one that it used to be. I also heard some good news that 2 more clubs are going to open pretty soon, and I think the future looks exciting, and we'll soon have 6-7 clubs in Bucharest, which is a good thing. It's a good thing for everybody. If you are in the electronic music industry and you are from Romania, for sure it is the place to be. In terms of Romanian, I think Bucharest, Berlin, and London are the top 3 cities in Europe to be right now.